What can you tell me about Beaver Cleavage? Who pitched it? How did they pitch it? Were you excited?
Um, yeah, so Glenn was hurt. Uh, I had the only singles matches I had ever done were like extras on TV. And I think I had three matches down at the Monster Factory before Glenn and I started tagging. So I never really did anything singles. Um, Even when we did singles on the road when we were at USWA and Memphis and Knoxville with Cornette, Glennon was still there. So I never really did anything on my own. So yeah, Bruce Pritchard called me up and he goes, "Hey, we have this idea and we want to run it past you. You're not doing anything right now. We have a different idea for Glenn where he comes back. We want to try and give you guys some singles runs." And I was like, sure. Again, same thing of taking me way outside my comfort zone because the only thing I knew was Glenn, and he was always kind of at that point he was always kind of the leader of the team because he was the veteran. So for me to have an opportunity to do something on my own, and then they pitched me the idea, and I kind of understood it but didn't understand it at the same time until we got to that house to do the vignettes. I was having sex with, and I went, okay, and then I had fun with it. The vignettes were fun, so I sat home. We shot 4 weeks of vignettes, and I sat home for 4 weeks. Then they bring me up and I wrestle Christian and I go over on him. Second gimmick, still undefeated. So it was fun. I think it would have been, and then that's when the whole other sexual harassment thing came up with Vince. And so anything that was pushing the line, they squashed. And but I thought it would have been great because it was a character where I could get into it and just be like a big goofy kid. And that's all I had to do. And plus I was burying my head in some girl's boobs every single night. So that's not all that bad. Her name was Mariana Comlos, something like that. Unfortunately, she passed away, I think back in 2004. But she was a fitness model. She was a fitness model they found. They brought her in. And it would have been fun. And I think it would have gotten over, and I think it would have given me a chance to transition into something else, because as soon as they squashed it, then it turned into, oh, you're going to be Chaz, this kid from New Jersey who's just here to have fun and happy to have a job. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, but who's Chaz? Like, I didn't know how to. The only thing I ever was a spider, and then a headbanger, and then a beaver. Like I didn't, who was Chaz with? Now I have a girlfriend. What do I do? What do I wear? Which is why I ended up just wearing, because like, you're just a happy kid from Jersey. So that's why I ended up wearing smiley boxer shorts. And because I didn't know like who I was or what to do. That was the hard part. And then that's when they transitioned into bringing the storyline to bring Glenn back by the whole me beating up my girlfriend storyline, which was awful. But probably the one thing I learned from that was I should have embraced the girl more, Mariana. I should have embraced her more. Our personalities clashed. I don't want to say anything bad about her, but we just clashed. And there was a couple of things I told her to avoid doing with the other boys in the locker room, and she didn't. So instantly, you know how that goes around. So instantly that killed off any credibility she had, and it just irked me. So I'm like, listen, we're trying to build something here, and you're going around with other people. Like, it's just not acceptable. So I didn't embrace it. I should have just looked at it. I never looked at the business as a business until it was way too late. But if I would have looked at it as a business, I would have embraced her, brought her in, and just dealt with it while I was there at work, and just dealt with it, not realizing, looking around, going, okay, that's when Lita was coming in. Jeff had Deborah, China was coming in, any team or any person that had a female valet was getting a push. I didn't look at it that way. Like, I should have embraced her more. And then when Glenn came back, we would have been able to have, those three-way matches with Matt, Jeff, and Lita and stuff like that. Just could have been different. But at first I was excited about it. I'm like, this is great, something new altogether, and it was going to be fun, but it got squashed. Biggie. I mean, ProWrestlingTees.com. You can get your I Heart Beaver shirt. You can get your Headbanger shirt. You get your Mosh shirt. Yeah, that's it. Just go buy a t-shirt or something.